Here with me now is Fred Guttenberg, who lost his daughter, Jamie, 5 years ago in the Parkland, Florida massacre. He's teamed up with criminologist and international gun policy consultant Thomas Gabor, who lost his father to gun violence. Together, they've written a new book, American Carnage, Shattering the Myths That Fuel Gun Violence. First of all, thank you for the book, which is a wonderful contribution. You have done so much, both of you, in your advocacy. Fred, we've known each other since 2018.
I wish we didn't, but we have.
I wish I'd never met you. Because I wish that Jamie were still here.
She would be 20 this July. She was killed when she was 14.
She was so beautiful.
And, you know, I want to go back to the opening because you talked about that family. A 6-year-old who's now an orphan, parents killed, and a sister killed. And these stories break me. Yesterday, and for the rest of this week, we are in Washington to hand out copies of American Carnage to every single member of Congress. We were in the Senate building yesterday when that story broke. And I can't begin to tell you how devastating it is to read stories like that, or the other family where 2 daughters were killed. It's the reason why Tom and I wrote the book. It's the reason why we're here in Washington, D.C., to make sure every member of Congress reads the book. Andrea, it is time in this country to stop listening to the liars. People like the governor of Texas, or the current senator of Texas, or the attorney general of Texas, who refuse to deal with the reality that their policies are the reason this latest shooting happened.
Well, let's talk about Greg Abbott for a moment, because he said that the answer is mental health. Yet Texas, under his leadership, cut the budget by hundreds of millions of dollars for mental health programs, whatever they did have. And arguably, you know, you could argue that mental health is a piece of this, but AR-15s or AR-15-style weapons, and the availability of them.
Stop listening to the liars. Here's the thing. 20 years ago, there were 200 million weapons in America, now over 400 million. 20 years ago, AR-15 sales were less than 2% of all guns sold. Now they're 25%. That's everything you need to know about why this happened in Texas. Greg Abbott's policies. This person who did this week legally bought the gun in a private setting. Never had to go through a background check. That's Greg Abbott's Texas. That's the reason it happened. Greg Abbott is a liar. Stop listening to the liars.
Well, Mr. Thomas Gabor, let's talk about the House in Texas. The legislature has just passed an age requirement, raising the age to 21 for buying these weapons from 18. Right. And the governor has said he won't sign it if it gets through the Senate.
And I think potentially that could be a useful policy, because we see many perpetrators who are between the ages of 18 to 21, especially school shooters. So that would be useful. But, you know, just getting back to the mental health issue, we know that only, you know, this is a familiar dodge of the gun lobby. We know that only 4% of all violence is due to people or committed by people with a severe mental illness. So it's a dodge. And as Fred says, we have to look at the guns. And I'd just like to add something. In the 1980s, the gun lobby and extremists campaigned in the states for concealed carry laws. And now in every state in the union, people can carry guns. Now they're lobbying in a number of states. We now have 26 which don't require a permit to carry. So it's as though we've decided, and, you know, we have about 10 million more people carrying guns daily. So it's as though we've decided we're going to add 50 million cars on the road, but we're going to take away the need to obtain a license. What would we expect? Carnage. And that's what we were getting in the guns area.
So, Fred, Senator Schumer is having a Democratic caucus this week.
Afternoon, yeah.
But the Republicans, Senator Cornyn and others, have said that there will not be any action on gun legislation in this session. Is there a good purpose in at least shining a light on it, as Senator Schumer is trying to?
Listen, absolutely. Hold a vote. Let America see. 80% of America says they stand with Senator Schumer and people like Tom and I and all the others who want to reduce gun violence. Let America see who will vote to reduce gun violence and who's going to vote to stand with a lobby that simply wants to sell more guns. Put it out there. Show America there's an election coming in 24. And you know what? That 80% of America is seeing people get shot when they ring the doorbell, when they pull up the wrong driveway, or when they go shopping at a mall. It's resonating in a way that I haven't seen since my daughter's shooting. We're going to show up and vote on this issue. It's going to be the voting issue of 24. And people like Senator Cornyn and the others, they can go home.
Fred Guttenberg, Thomas Gabor, thank you both so much.
Thank you.
And the book is American Carnage, shattering the myths that fuel gun violence. Thank you both so much.
Thank you, Andrea.
Thank you very much.